Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Jones bringing you this match from the Billiard Network, and it is sponsored by Q-Tech. We have Emil Szaszor of Poland versus Fedor Gorst of Russia. Szaszor breaking off in the first game. This match is a recent Eurotour match from Glasgow. Looks like a pretty nice opening shot here from Camille. Camille's going to rest near the rail, so probably takes an attempt at this cross corner bank on the 3. Safety looks pretty difficult. A whole lot of balls to really run behind. That's a nice shot. Don't know much about Camille. Of course, the Polish players as a whole, maybe the toughest in the world. Just may bump the 7 a hair here. He came short of it. That's a smart shot. And that's also recognizing the 9 isn't too difficult. Plays pretty quick. Looks fairly young. Should just come 2 cushions here. Looks like the table's playing nice. Not too tight. Doesn't look terribly, like super big pockets, but a nice break and run to open our match. Fedor Gorst to break off in game number 2, and what a year he's had so far. Not really getting to play many of the big events, or hasn't played them. He's had some chances to play some, but we'll be playing the U.S. Open later in the year, and not quite the break off that Szaszor had, but a really nice starter on the 2. He's made 2 on the break. I think even though he's fairly straight in the side, unless the sides are playing a little more generous than I really would think, this dynamic table, but probably takes this in the corner, more often than not. He's definitely going to go offensive. Fedor is a guy who definitely goes through his process. Pull the trigger too often. Not very settled, and both mentally and physically. Looks like he's eyeing up the side pocket, and that may be just for the cue ball position, but could come across the table in between the 7 and 8 kind of and take an angle on the 4. So must really like the side as far as pocketing the ball. Gained a little bit of an angle, and these pockets do look like you could cheat them a little bit. The 8's a big ball. Could maybe kind of hold the line of the cue ball, drawing it back into the position it's in now somewhat. Take the cut on the 5. I think he would like to kind of stun draw between the 7 8. Get much closer to the 5. Maybe not as much angle, but he was going to just take a little bit of a chance. Figured if he drew it with enough speed to pass the 8, that right there was a possibility of bumping the 8 and coming free with the cue ball. Now he can come 2 rails towards the 6, he can come 1 rail. A lot of choices here. I think 2 rails. This will be a stun draw shot, somewhat back to where he's at now. At least that point. He's going to get over the 8. And this is where your pocket size really makes a huge difference. And the 9 being so accessible. Like if it's like an awkward in-between stroke trying to hold for the 8 in the upper left-hand corner where he's going to be standing, don't be afraid to come across, especially, you get to hit the ball a little more like what you want. Now, he used the pocket, and that's what I was talking about. If the pocket's pretty generous, playing nice, You can kill the cue ball easily if you can use a little of that side rail, but it should follow to the top rail. End up playing the 9 where he's standing now. And came on this side of it, so the camera fooled me. Perfect speed for Fedor. Looks to tie the match at 1 apiece. You can see it's alternate break format. Rack for your opponent. I haven't played a Euro event in some time, but I used to basically tap the balls in to where, basically like a template. Which is okay, but just got to be careful about over tapping them. It would really affect the slate a little bit. And I don't think that Emil's, ooh, big miss there on a pretty easy shot. I believe he overcut it by the way the cue ball kind of ran out a little bit. Now Fedor's got a, I don't think the 3-9 passes. If it did pass the 6, that's a pretty easy combination for a quick win. Not saying he's looking for a quick win, but position on that shot looks kind of natural as well. And again, he looks pretty in tune killing that cue ball. That looked like a lot of angle, but again, they used a little bit of the rail. Now he can come back for the side. I kind of feel like he's going to do that. Yeah, just because he didn't come back and look. And that's pretty rare for Fedor. So I think if he was playing it in the corner, he would have definitely addressed where for that upper left he wanted to place the cue ball. Don't think he's got a natural to go around the 7. Good thing is the 6 isn't too far away, so if he gets a little thin on the 5, it should be okay, just as long as he doesn't get too thin. You don't want to get real missable on the 5 ball. So he'll slow pull this with low right English. Like that. Just making sure, sacrificing a little distance, but making sure he didn't contact the 7. Key to that was a slow draw kind of stroke. That way you give the spin time to take. You kind of hit at it a little bit, it'll bounce off that object ball and not really take like you wanted. Could have easily gotten into that 7. Key here, coming across, stay off the rail with the cue ball. You can manage a lot. He went in front. Table looks like it's playing pretty conducive for most shots. You got to kill the cue ball nicely a couple times. Even right there, that was a form of a kill shot on the 5 going forward there. And after a big miss and something didn't expect, and Szaszor in game number 3, it looks like Fedor Gorst should take his first lead. Now the reason why he did that, he could have come one rail, that's a little preference, but where he decided to go is, you'll notice the 8 ball on the left side of the pocket. That means he can cheat it a lot of ways coming out of here and really make it easy to get on the 9, and that wasn't probably his best, but still not bad. It's going to be hard for Fedor as much time as he puts in at the table, practice table that is. Hard for him to miss balls like this. I didn't expect that miss there from Emil, especially after a nice clearance in game number 1. Now to break off in game number 4. He's made the 1 in the side. Don't think he's come away with a shot. The 8 is impeding. So So it'll be a rollout of some sort. With the 3 near, you know, Federer, my opinion, is the best in the world with the jump cue, but with the 3 near, I don't think he can roll out to a pretty simple jump here and expect to get it back. Don't think he'll take this jump on. Now, he may make more of a difficult jump shot, but that doesn't look too difficult to me. Now, this is one of two circumstances. If he knows his opponent, he may think he's getting it back, but if his opponent knows him, that's the real issue. I doubt he's getting it back, that being Federer. Yeah, that looked pretty easy, and a surprising jump there on what looks to be some pretty nice playing pockets at the moment. A little low inside the English. Just got to really get to the center of the table. These balls are really nice and open. Okay, nice shot there. Looks like he's carried an angle on this 4 ball as well. Just going 1 rail above. Without knowing Camille, I think anyone would say that he's an underdog in this match, like 99% of the world playing Federer any kind of pool game, but as an underdog, he's doing what he needs to do. A little bit of a mistake with that miss on the 2 ball earlier, but he's rebounding here and keeping the match close early. I may cheat the pocket here a little bit, may just hold the cue ball. Nice stroke, good setup, looks like. Most of the European players, the younger ones, pretty solid fundamentals. Ooh, this 9 ball, and that's maybe just a little youth involved there, and a conceded 9 ball as well, so maybe a little frustration. I understand, been there. And now a little ad from our sponsor, Q-Tech. Speaking of Fedor Gorst, first guy to win with a carbon fiber shaft, that being the World 9-Ball Championships. Q-Tech having the first, and now they have the first to have 2 guys to win the World 9-Ball, with Shane Van Boening winning the 2022 World 9-Ball Championships. Nice break off again. I think the pink 4 goes. He's got to settle himself now. Gave away, it looked like 2 games. I think this ball goes, would be my guess. It does look tight. It's got a nice angle on the 2, though, to get up at nice and close to the 4. Not going to get right on top of it, but looks to me he's got really nice on this ball. Exactly what you want when you're shooting to a portion of the pocket, and especially a small portion of the pocket, it looks like. The 5's near. He's not going to be able to do a lot with the cue ball, so with the 9 being there, can he come 1 rail cross? Eesh, that looks difficult. Maybe he has to go backside of the 7 here. He got quite a bit out of it. Now just a little speed control when he cuts the 6 in. I don't think he'll contact the 3rd rail. I think it's more like 2 rails. That's a good shot. Nice stun of the cue ball. Even though he's going to trail 3-2, it looks like. Should make this 9. He does have 2 breaking runs, and could have had a 3rd. Really, and maybe a little nervous playing the former world 9-ball champion Fedor Gorst. Federer will break in game number 6. He's made 3 on the break. Not a terribly tough combination. You know, if he didn't have to play the cue ball off the 9, and if the 7-8 wasn't right there in the middle of the table, because the 2's going to, you know, if you move the 9 with the cue ball, the 2's going to come towards the 7-8, cue ball kind of going away from the 2 a little bit. This type of combination, he's a pretty big favorite to make. You could just put him on the back of the 5. I don't really see a ton elsewise on safeties. You could push through, I guess, but I like this shot, I think, even though I don't think he got there. If he's got an entire ball here, he's got a chance to take a big command on trying to win this game number 6. He's cut off the 1 rail angle. I don't think the 2-4 plays in the side. I have to kick to this bottom rail. 2 rails going at the 2 ball, which is not easy because the left half of the 2 is pretty cut off because of where he's going to be trying to tie that ball up. And that's how low the percentage is. Trying to hit this 2 ball. And really the thing is you want to keep accuracy, so you're not wanting to kick at it 100 miles an hour, especially with the 4 covering up the left side of the 2. So what are you doing with the kick shot? Even if you do hit it, I guess you still have to kick at it. I was thinking about trying to tie up the 5 ball. Top English, he does have a little of the center of the cue ball because he's shooting beside the 9 from the angle he's addressing. Could thin it. Would like to put a little speed on it at least. And that was difficult. I think the 2 does pass in the upper left-hand corner. I wouldn't say a routine safety miss by Fedor earlier, but a pretty doable one that led to this ball in hand. You know, really sizing up how to get on the 5 ball. Don't want to get too close. Wants an angle here on the 4. Looks like he's going to follow to the short rail here on the bottom of your screen, maybe a little left English, and just kind of coast up into that area. He's drawn it. Oh, he's coming over behind it. Really nice. Confidence stroke. This is touchy though. Because if you come above the 7, you're coming across the ball, and speed control is so important. This isn't going to be what he wanted. He's going to like that. Plays to hit him. And you can tell Camille's young. Made a few mistakes, maybe. I wouldn't say getting in a hurry, but maybe just a little lack of focus at times. But really good stroke, really good rhythm. Looks like competing, of course. Trying hard. And now to break in game number 7. He rattled the 1 on the side, didn't make another ball. The 1's going to come open. Really, this isn't bad at all. Got to cut the 1. Oh, excuse me, the 3-point rule. So even though he did make 2 balls on the break, another ball didn't pass the head string, so Fedor's got the choice, and he'll obviously take this shot. Yeah, I don't know if he... Looks like he's going to catch the 7 pretty heavy, and that's what he's worried about. If I follow this ball and catch it heavy, I shouldn't be behind the 9. I don't think anyways, but could end up behind the 5, could end up on the rail. Don't think he wants to draw this ball from this cut going off the 7, even though that is a possibility if you think you're catching it really full. I think he'll go forward smoothly and just try to get between the 9 and 5 with the cue ball. Oh, he drew it. Nice shot. Super unlucky there. Wow. How clear that end of the table was for the 7 to come around, catch the cue ball again, and then end up in the way, getting at the 3. Just hard to figure. Impossible, really. Kick cross corner. This kind of kick you get a real good feel to try and make the ball in the upper right-hand corner. Does he have a little sliver of it? He does. May be able to cut it to the upper rail, run the cue ball around the table. Could get a kiss that way as well. This kick's okay. Gonna hit it more of like a rolling ball. And that doesn't mean super light. It just means like a medium, where you might edge the ball, you might catch it full and bang it to the end rail. Cue ball could catch the 7, slowing the cue ball down. He's going to give up a shot here. Nothing easy, even though a very pocketable 3 ball on the side. And I think that miss was really more about what was going to happen with the cue ball. Lost a little focus on pocketing the 3. Nice shot there, and amazing that ball out in the middle of the table is a difficult one to deal with. It's one of the hardest to kick at. Jump. Get 2 rails on the side. Got the cue ball off the rail. Has a long shot on the 4. Wonder if he'll elevate here. Probably. And get the cue ball into the 9 some kind of way. Maybe if he leveled out, he could go between the 8 and 9. Thought he was going to get a good shot at the 4 here. That wasn't easy for Camille, but a little shake of the head, wanted that one. You'll notice Fedor, a little different than most these days, starts with the tip in the middle there on the draw stroke and then lowers the tip on the last stroke. Saw players, I think, years ago do that more. These days it's more often the cue sticks at the bottom of the ball with the draw stroke and it comes up into position a little bit. And you'll notice there, instead of coming 1 rail, plays that 2 rail lot, even though he's crossing the line with the cue ball as he comes in. When you're close to it, you figure speed to be good, and it's a lot of preference. Didn't get near as much out of that. I see that occasionally from Fedor on that shot. Not sure exactly why he ends up short at times, but there's some different reasonings that may be true, but I don't know. Just occasionally on that kind of shot. There wasn't a whole lot of angle there, so I wonder if he'll draw this or he'll come a couple rails. I don't think he'll come 4 rails trying to get to the side pocket to cut the 9, but maybe. That's what he's doing. Getting up by that side anyways. Feels good about the cut shot to take a 4-3 lead. No hanger, and this is approaching halfway through the match. And alternate break format, a huge shot here in game number 7. Applying a hair of inside English, it looks like. Nice shot there from Fedor, and another word and ad from our sponsor Q-Tech. That's the Propel Q. It's the only full composite jump cube from top to bottom. Has both different handles for different types of jump shots. Our first dry break. Now looks like the 4's been knocked in the corner, and maybe a look at the 1 ball. It definitely can see it. Oh, excuse me again on the 3-point rule. Not taking much time here, or at least appeared so at first. Any doubt here, he's got to knock this around the table. Oh, it's a touchy safety, but very well done. There's been a few safeties from this kid that's been very impressive. He's going to have to maybe... Let's look at the jump cue now. Like I was saying before, I think Fedor probably the best jumper in the world under pressure. Real match kind of situations. May show you one here. Looked like it had a lot of control, even though it didn't go. Now we're going to see Szaszor back at the table. He's going to play the 1 off the 9, play the cue ball behind the 8 maybe. Get the 1 down table. He's been very, very good at the safety end of things. Didn't want the 1 to fall, obviously. Of course, you never want it near a pocket, but I think Fedor will be jumping that ball, but definitely a very capable guy when he has to go rail first with the kick shots. Here, I don't see him trying to put a ton of speed on this unless he swerves the ball. Don't really see the 6 in too much of a way problem on the kick shot either. Looks like he's going to play the swerve. He won't put a ton on this either. He wants to make the ball hook. Not worried about position with the 2-9 a little jammed up, and important he doesn't give up ball in hand here. I don't think that's going to be enough. And that one there, when you can see the ball hanging, the thing is, when you're curving the ball, you feel like, man, I want to use that rail. But remember, he had another 2 or 3 balls with. He could have curved that. Just don't give up on the curve. Don't try to be so cute with it, maybe. Make sure you get contact on the 1. Very hard to follow it in. It is possible, but hard. I'm surprised he's not maybe going at this 2-9. It looks like he's maybe going to set up for a cross-side bank, which is probably smarter if it does play. If you were going to go at the 2-9, you'd set the cue ball up on the short rail and cut the one to your right, going to the side rail there and straight at the 2-9. I think he's going to try and come around. Is he drawing this? Okay, it looks like he's just going to play a safety from here, just straight out. Not taking much time trying to go behind the 7. That's touchy from that angle. Very difficult, but very well done. So really had a nice touch so far. You can see Fedor just wants a good solid hit on the 2. Didn't require a ton of speed, probably around medium. Nothing too light, nothing too heavy. And we can keep accuracy on this kick shot. Didn't hit this one, could give up an early winner. I put a ton of speed on it. Really, really confident in his cueing. I know it sounds crazy, but I think kick shots, especially if you're on the top part of the ball, you're applying speed. It's like a different type of target than the object ball to me, and it's very hard to hit the cue ball accurately, you know, with like a straight top right there. Center is a little different to me, or lighter speed, but you're going to add that speed with the top part of the ball. Man, it's hard. Okay, should give this one a good go at making it. You all come up towards the 7 and the 9. Definitely probably glad he didn't make it overall, but better not too many worries here to put him behind the 7, let the 2 just creep up the table. Got to cut the 2 a little bit. I don't think he wants to just do it with English here. So the 2 could go towards the 6 a bit. Emil looking for the 2-rail escape. Trying to keep the cue ball underneath the 7-9. Trying to catch the bottom of the 2. Not super thin. Just still alright. Thin's okay. May get away with it. They've done very well with the cue ball. And if Fedor can't hit this, whether it be swerve or straight at it, 7 has kept things really a bad way for Fedor. He's going to have to go 3 rails at this. Hit before the side with some left English. By the 7 ball, go up to the top left corner, wrap the corner, go at the 2. Unless he's got a swerve shot of some sort. I don't think he can get straight at this ball. The table's breaking nice, and Emil's played well. Is he just going 1 rail to try and get a piece of this 2 ball, it looks like? That's not bad. Thing is, you want to straighten it, so if you hit it too hard, you could hop over the edge of this 2 ball. He's just going 1 rail. I personally still kind of like the 3 rails, but can't really knock 1 rail. Again, though, if he really hits a lot of speed trying to straighten it out or create some luck, could hop over the edge. Oh, way short. Wow, what a shot. So that tells me he was cut off a lot more on that 5 ball than it appeared. And this is probably part of the game that Emil's lacking. you know, all the time, is a little more process before each shot. Notice he went and took a look at where he wanted to get on the 3. Now he's going to look at the 5. Until you put in countless hours of practicing in that manner, it's not automatic. It's easy to get out of your rhythm, or what your process is, rather. Okay, 6 over the side, 7 over the opposite side, 8 and 9 near. Big shot on the 5. Hit very nicely. This is where you just keep it simple. You can handle a little cut shot on the 7, no big deal. I wouldn't say he's the top of the food chain rather, for Poland, but very solid. Another young, very good player that I'm sure is going to do all the right things to become a great player. Now 4-4 with Fedor Gorst and Emil Szaszor. It's a Eurotour event from Lascaux. It's a race to 8. He's made 2 balls here. He's got one past the head string. I think he's got a little piece of the 2 ball. I don't know if it's makeable. I would guess not on the makeable. Well, he likes it. He's not really looking at his own. He did play a safety. He's going between the 7 and 8. I think Federer will probably shoot at this. This is where he can easily say, hey, I'm a huge favorite. I'll put the time in for these types of shots. Looks like he can track the cue ball up and down the table between the 7 and the 3. Now, how he hits the pocket, whether it accepts it if it's not hit pretty well, will determine how the cue ball is going to track up and down the table, not only the speed but the line. Kind of the comfortable speed to me looks like you go up and down and back down where the 2's at, kind of with the cue ball, but you don't mind a long shot on the 3. You don't want to be silly long on the rail or something, but Federer doesn't mind changing the speeds for the cue ball, that's for sure. Don't know if he'll play it 3 rails up and down to try and get back at the 3 with the cue ball. Just kind of guess the cue ball ends up between the 9 and 5 if he does pocket the 2. I don't think he'll apply any side spin. He got behind it and he might lose the cue ball on the side. Since that first break and run to open the match, Emil Szaszor, excuse me, it's a chance to take another lead. It's fairly ideal. Probably stuns to the rail. Again, don't force it. The 8's really playable to both pockets. Here he'll draw back and take a little cut on the 8 ball. does look very, very comfortable. Tied up. That's another word from Q-Tech, the Shane Van Boney Ghost Edition. Simply said, the best-selling Q in the history of Q-Tech. Now with another lead. It's been a minute for Szaszor, but Fedor Gorst to break in game number 10. Looks like he's completely snookered on the 2-ball. Did not comply with the break. So Emil has the choice here with a 5-4 lead. Just wanted to make sure he wasn't passing up anything, but is going to give it back to Fedor. Fedor's going to play the rollout. I'm not sure how much of this 2-ball he's given up. You would think if he's given up the entire 2, that Emil would take this on and put the 2 behind the 6 and the 8 and the 7. That's what he was trying to do. I don't think he's gotten there completely. He's not going to like the results of this here in a moment. Now Fedor's got a chance to put him between the 6 and the 8 with the cue ball. Looks like it lays pretty nice. The rails aren't playing too bouncy, so you shouldn't be too worried about the speed control. I got the 2 way down there. I don't know if he gave up the cue ball though, or Emil can get the cue ball to the side rail with some spin maybe and get at that 2. Nothing easy though. Probably can't put a ton of spin on this shot, so separation between the cue ball and the 2 is going to be pretty difficult. He can get past the side, so if he can get past the side, he can put speed. Just missed the kick shot and it's giving up ball in hand. Interesting Fedor setting up to draw here. Most would set up to follow the 2 on the side. I say most, I mean that's pretty accurate with the draw stroke there, but you know, you're just generally going to be more accurate when you're following the ball or rolling into position, and certainly when position is in front of you as far as your peripheral. Still, either way it's fine. Just comes out towards the 4, the 5's near. When it gets on the 6, it doesn't want to get too much of an angle, if any at all. It can handle the 7 in both pockets. Got a few pockets for the 7 with the 8 so close. So here he wants to get a little angle on the 5. Doesn't want anything missable though. Same thing on the 6 when he comes across. Can handle a little bit of an angle, but no reason to get a missable shot on the 6. If Fedor does what Fedor usually does, we should have a tie ball game at 5 apiece. I can't really roll it with the top right English and get that close to the 6. Close to the 6 isn't that important, but if he happens to get that angle on the ball a little bit more than he wanted, well, distance could be a little problem controlling the cue ball. Probably stuns here. That was was nicely struck. And see how much closer he got to the 6. Not saying he's right on top of it, but even being near the head string compared to here is a way different ball game. And you know, he got fairly straight, so it wouldn't have mattered the distance there. But like I said, if he catches that angle, that's where the problem starts to, you know, get bigger quicker. He must have fallen a little funny going towards the 8, but not a whole lot. So he's really sizing up the 7 in a lot of ways, just because maybe he can stop there. He doesn't want to like stun forward, get over the 8, get funny on the 7. He's going to roll past for the 7 in the side, and that's so he can get off the rail with the cue ball also, I think. Well, kind of got a little so-so. Unless he is really dead straight, he can stop the ball. You may have to kind of shove this past the 8 a little bit. Doesn't appear top English is that great. Yeah. And I would say that Federer would say he's not in love with the way these last few shots came about and turned out, but he's doing, yeah, like that. He's doing what a lot of great players do, just keep working through it, learn from it. Now 5 apiece. Federer racking the balls. Camille to break in game number 11. One on the side. He's made 2 balls. The ball did pass the head string, so he did comply. Pretty easy safety here. It's the type of shot, though, you got to learn to really kind of drag the ball or spin the ball a little bit. That way you can slow the cue ball down along with the object ball. Just got to put some left English on here and kind of spread the cue ball off the 2 behind the 6-9. Yeah, he decided to cut it more, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that, but sometimes when you need the object ball up the rail a little more, and actually you get a little better touch that way sometimes because you're hitting the object ball a little thicker with the left English, which is usually easier to lay the cue ball down. Federer could jump this ball, go for the cross corner bank. Could kick softly on the 2. I don't think he can see it. That would be surprising. Maybe he can. He's going for the jump shot. Pretty good effort. I knew that was a possibility as well. A little bit of a backdoor safety. He's going to kick below the 3 with a little draw stroke, trying to bend the cue ball a little bit, make it arc. Should hit this one, and you don't have to hit it, you know, you want to hit it with some speed, of course, but you need a little bit of that draw to take. It was a nice hit. Don't know if he's going to get any shape. The cross-side bank would be there if the 7 wasn't in the way. Super nice kick shot there from Camille. He's going to edge the 3 maybe. Top side. Could put the 3 above the 7, drop down below. Could put the 3 below the 5, go up table with the cue ball. Hate to leave a gap here trying to get the 3 to the end rail. Oh, he went for the bank? I may have left a shot here. And that's why I would not try to maybe get the 3 to the back rail. Maybe just let the 3 go below the 5 and try and use the 7 and the 5 to really contain Fedor. Fedor sizing up if he can get at this 3 ball. I think he can. Maybe elevating a hair, maybe putting a touch of right English. May catch the 5 here. So watch out 7 ball. You got around it. Really used a lot of the pocket there and a lot of right spin. We'll see how he wants to play this. I think he just comes 2 rails for that gap between the 6-7. Well, looks like he's going to load it up with left English. May stun 2 rails. Looks like a stun. Like that. Don't think he draws the ball here. Could follow down to the bottom cushion. Could use 2 rails doing so. Could draw the ball as well. Don't think draws the option here though. Like just a little stop shot on the 6 and just draw the cue ball back on the 7. May need to roll forward a little bit here. Did carry a little angle on that 6. Fedor Gorst after a missed safety from Camille, and he's been super solid. Maybe just like I said, the 3's up that rail a long ways. Sometimes when it's up that rail, you want to get it to the back rail, but it can be a little dangerous doing so. And now 6-5 lead for Fedor Gorst. Huge game here in this match. Better to break. Game number 12. Looks like he's going to comply. The 2's going to get to the top rail bit. I don't know, the 8 may have cut him off here. I don't think you're going to see Fedor rolling out though. Even if he has to kick behind this 2 ball. I think good chance he does so. The 6 and the 8 there. A lot of ways to play this if you're comfortable with the kick shot. Looks like he can play it a few different ways. He's trying to make the 2 hit short of the side by quite a bit. That could get away from him a little bit. Now if he's trying to hit right before the side with the 2 ball, maybe take a little chance at making the 2 ball, which may be good, it may not be. there, just before the side. To give maybe a little piece of the 2-ball, maybe a little more than that. I don't think Camille's totally cut off the 2. You may be able to see all of it behind the 3 and the 7 with the cue ball here. It's pretty nice. I think he's got the complete snooker, and we'll see if Fedor wants to go to the air with the cue stick. The jump cue. Go over a little of the 3 and the 9, and the 9's a little ways away. Looks like he is going to the jump cue, and this is difficult, I think. I don't know how much of the 3 really plays into this shot, meaning getting over the 3, but see how amazing this guy is. It's so many different types of jumps. We saw the last where the object ball in front of him was just a couple inches away. A little more room here, but now he's got to carry the cue ball ways and get it down. Just so much control. What a weapon to have. Keep playing great safeties, and you just you got to keep at it. That's what's going to win the cash. Usually is play your percentages a lot of times, but it can be a little demoralizing not getting better shots than this after pretty good safeties. Against Fedor, it can go like that for a long time, and not just Fedor. A lot of guys, lots of players. Try and put him behind the 3-7 here. And the cue ball off the left side. This is touchy. And what, that jump again. It's left him an outright shot here, so Fedor, I think, can go between the 3-9, no problem. Got a lot of options. If he carries a heavy angle on the 3, he can run the cue ball. If not, he can play the 5 up long. First shot's important. Is he going to go straight between the 3-9, straight back out? I would probably pull the ball with a little English, but that could be a little tricky too. You could catch a little piece of the 9 going in. He'd like to be able to do it with a level cue with just right English on this, but I don't think that's much of an option. I think he's got to get into the cue ball a little bit here. He was able to play with just a little bit of right spin. That's a more comfortable way to shoot that shot for sure. Now he got that angle I was talking about. He'll run the cue ball, stun it a couple rails around for the 5 in the same pocket as the 3. So he's going to fall pretty straight, so probably drawing the cue ball back in about the distance the cue ball's at now to get a shot on the 6. Maybe be able to just cheat this pocket a little bit also. Getting the cue ball out from the rail a little bit. Not necessary, really. I think it's going to come out from the rail enough. Can level out here. He can elevate just a little bit and level out with a little left English. That's what he's going to do. Fedor going for the extension on this stretch on the 7. Won't draw up the side rail too much. He wants to get a little more towards the center of the table, so he'll stun this one rail. Get a little angle on the 8. Yeah, just like that. Now he's definitely come down the side of the table the cue ball's on now, whether it be 1 or 2 rails. Played at 9 in the lower left-hand corner. Should extend that lead to 2 games and be on the heel. There it is, 2-game lead for Fedor Gorst. Another look at our sponsors, Q-Tech, for 10.5 Synergy. What a versatile shaft. I think it's great for any kind of 7-footers. In the game you play on the 7-footers, and English 8-ball, maybe snooker. A great starter here for Emil, and much needed one here at 7-5. Like a stop shot on the 3, and really we'll see what Emil can do with this, but I like his chances to clear these. Probably plays the 5 in the side, going for his extension here, I'm sure. Little stretch to end the 6-ball. Could draw back, but no reason to with the 6 so near. Now, a little funny, the 6 doesn't go in the upper left with the 7 there, so gotta pay a little attention here on the 5. Make sure you're not getting, having to settle for a real thin shot on the 6 of some sort. So I like him looking there. That was important. Make sure nothing unforced happens here. Looks pretty ideal. Be able to follow between the 6-7, which I think is ideal. Even if you go at the 7 a hair, that's okay. Rather bump the 7 than have a problem. Looks like that's perfect. Gonna keep the pressure on Fedor. Let's gain a little bit of an angle. And it's just going to draw up the side rail, looks like. Low left English. Probably would have liked a little more than that on the cue ball, but should he stay steady here? He can go with the top English. He can stun it 2 rails out of the corner. Just a little preference. More of a high ball, which I like from there. He's made 2 on the break, 3 on the break. A shot on the 2 ball though, and a little bit of a tied up 3 and 7. Now, Fedor has a little piece of this. He'll try to trim this 2-ball on the right side and run the cue ball a couple rails. Won't go all the way to the end rail, though, I don't think. It's a great hit. Not the worst shot to kick at from the top rail, though. You can come into the 2, use the 7 to hold the cue ball behind the 3. Gotta get a little feel for this, but you can hit the 2 a few different ways and get somewhat of the same outcome, a snooker behind the 3, so we'll see. Very off-angle combination on the 2-8. I think he'll shoot it, but and it looks like he has to elevate the cue unless he's willing to really hit this easy with a high ball. I'm going to doubt that. The cue ball and 2-ball should be going a little towards the pink 4 and the 9. A little unlucky there. Wanted to get the cue ball down and really try to control everything that was going on. He's amazing at that, really, Fedor. Never a doubt, it seemed. And this is where he, I wouldn't say separates himself, but just unique in a lot of ways to where it looks like the shots that go between the 7-9 and lays to go between the 7-9. He doesn't really like avoid trouble just because there's possibilities of trouble. Now, that can't be all the time, of course not. You have to sometimes play the percentages, but he's like, why would I get in my own way trying to maneuver the cue ball somewhere else when this does lay natural, even though it is to a gap. It's plenty big enough to be confident hitting, and of course his reps and what he does on the practice table helps a heck of a lot, but very strong mentality when he's at the table. Very impressive to watch time and time again, it seems. I think he's come long enough there to where he can just follow forward. Any drawback, we'll see, but I doubt that. Fedor Gorst, I made a mistake, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. It is a race to 9. Fedor Gorst with now an 8-6 lead, and there he is again. Look from Q-Tech and the synergy. My personal favorite. 3 gonna cross to get a complying break. It appears so, but I don't think the 2 is shootable. Can see it. Can play safe off of it, but nothing offensive. Don't think a 2-3 is lined up into the lower left corner if he wanted to get frisky with a kick shot. No, the 8 is there. There's some helpers. Possibilities. Just gotta play safe here, get around the 7, watch out for the side pocket. He did both nicely. Very good speed with the cue ball. Let Fedor see a little bit of the 2 ball, but still a nice shot. I've been very impressed with this young man. I mean, he's had a couple of shots, Szaszor, that he wanted to have back. Fedor banked the 2 between the 9 and the 4, maybe. It's a tough shot. He's wanting the 2 to come. Is it going to come enough? I don't think it is. So we're going to get another offensive look from Emil Szaszor from Poland. Obviously another young, great player from Poland. And I wouldn't say the top of the charts for the Polish contingent, but obviously plays very well. Nice draw stroke. Watch out side pocket. Dodged the 7. Got a lot of cue action. 5 may pass the 8. I don't think it passes the 9 in the lower right. So I need to gain an angle on the 4 to get to the 5 in the right side pocket, maybe. May just get back where he's at now with the cue ball. Terrible. Maybe a little thinner than he wanted. He's got to play a nice touch here on the 4 coming over for the 5 in the side. Appears to be the shot to me. Looks really nice. Set himself up to cut this lead back to 1 game. So very competitive here. Hard to believe a mistake coming in this rack with these last 4 balls. Fedor will be 8-7 if he gets out here, and Fedor breaking. Very important break shot. At least it looks like one coming from Fedor Gorst. Okay, just make sure you get up above the 9. It's a nice shot. No, it wasn't a hard shot, but he sure made it look very, very easy with the cue ball. Now 8-7. Hanging strong, the youngster. They're both youngsters, by the way. Fedor Gorst, who seems like such a veteran in our game, but he's really not. 22 maybe. Time flies, maybe 23. I don't think so, though. Alright, he's made 2 on the break. He's got a shot on the 1. I don't know if the bank goes or not. I think it does. The cut's awfully thin. Is a compliant break for Fedor. They got options on the safety. The 1 ball banks, though, I gotta believe he's shooting it. doesn't like the bank, he can kind of roam the 1 over by the 7 and put the cue ball behind the 4. It's pretty easy. You can bank the 1 across by the 2, bring the cue ball below the 3. Really got options, but I think the bank does go. Trying to decide how to shoot it. I don't think so much to make it, not to worry position on the 2. Okay, he played the behind the 4 safety, cue ball behind the 4, 1 behind the 7. And what you're doing when you're sizing up which way to go with the safety is exactly what I said, sizing up. You're trying to see what agrees with both balls more. Which shot agrees with kind of putting something, with the cue ball behind the 4, along with the 1 behind the 7. So a lot of the players will get a feel, obvious on the cue ball a lot of times, but which one agrees with both. And Camille is about to shoot this one, but a word from Q-Tech again, our sponsor for this match from the Billiard Network. The Ghost Edition again, man. Super sweet cue, easy on the eyes, and an awful scratch on the cue ball there, but top selling cue ever from Q-Tech. And now Q-Tech's own Fedor Gorst. The chance to end this match with ball in hand on the 1. Got 6 balls on the table. 1, 2, 3. The 4 on the top end, the 5 near. You can see the brown 7 and the 9 on the spot or near it. Just wants to draw kind of between the 7 and the 2, not quite getting that close to it, but yeah, taking a little cut. Now here he should come 2 rails. May come 1, but I think he'll come 2. That should set him up to play another 2 rail shot off the 3 to play the pink 4 in the upper left-hand corner here in a few shots. Good thing for Fedor is he's got about a foot area to really gain that angle he wants, and he can play off the 3 in multiple, kinds of ways to still get position on the 4. Like to get the cue ball back where his hand's at now, his bridge hand, somewhere around there. He's played a little thinner on it. Nothing wrong with that. Cue ball should come 2 rails in between the 7 and the 9 down to that where his cue's at now, the middle of that long rail. Doesn't want to get really thin on the 4. I mean, he doesn't want to take a chance at catching the 7 with the cue ball, of course, as he travels off the 3 here, but doesn't want to get really thin on the 4 with the 5, just a couple feet away. And came much closer to the 7 than I thought he would. I think he came much closer than he thought he would also. He's gotten off the rail with the cue ball. He's got a little angle behind the 4, but should just draw above the 5 for the same pocket. That happens a lot on that shot where players end up a little thinner. He's okay. It's close to it. Accuracy should be okay, but when they're really trying to dig on the ball, making sure the ball doesn't float behind the 7 from that angle, seems like the common, I don't even want to call it mistake, but theme, it seems, is to end up a little short on that ball. You're really trying to dig on it, and you kill the cue ball a little more off that angle than anticipated. Now it's just to make sure he stays focused. Which is, I think, Fedor's middle name without him even trying to stay focused. Just kind of his routine and his reps. Kind of just make that happen. pretty automatic for the young man, and so should these last 2 remaining balls to end this match. Very impressed with Camille. I thought he played a fine match, had several breaking runs, and handled the pressure well, playing a former world 9-ball champion, but Fedor Gorst is going to get through this one at 9-7. Thank you for joining us on the Billiard Network. Q-Tech Cues is the sponsor. Jeremy Jones here, and stay tuned for more matches coming to you from the Billiard Network.